What's your life purpose, ladies and gentlemen? Actually, we all try to find something. We try to find our salvation. Everybody wants to achieve their salvation. That means actually they try to find it. You all try to find something. You may have many names. You can say, I want to find happiness. Everyone wants to find something. Some people think that they want to find happiness in their life. Because people believe that happiness exists. Do you really think that happiness exists? I know you want to believe that. You want to believe that happiness exists because then you can find. Because our mind always wants to find something. That's the nature of the mind. It wants to find something. That's how it can be satisfied. By finding. Therefore, you live for knowledge. That's why you always want to listen. That's why you always want to discuss. Read books. I think until your last breath, you will listen. You will read. That means you want to find. The mind wants to find because the mind lost something. The mind believes that it lost something because it can't perceive. Therefore, actually, you are forced to believe that happiness exists and you need to find it. Therefore, from your childhood, you have been doing this. And today, you are here to find your happiness, which means find your salvation. But actually, I also did the same. I wanted to find my salvation, then I wanted to be happy. I tried. But finally, I understood that there is no such thing called happiness. Then you might think that if happiness doesn't exist, then why should we live? That's the other problem. Actually, why do you live? What do you want? You can't say that I live because I want to eat. That's wrong. You eat because you have to live. Then you can't say that I want to do a job because I want to live. Again, we have to go the other way around. I have to do a job because I have to live. Because I need 4 requisites. The basic 4 requisites we need to live. We need a shelter to reside. We need some clothing. So on. We need all these things. That's why we do a job. That's why we need money. On top of that, we need to go on holiday. Therefore, we need to earn money. We have wantings. Therefore, we need to earn money to buy those things. Then we think that we can be happy by having those things. This is what happened to us. I also used to be like that. Then I thought that happiness exists. Then I wanted to find happiness. Therefore, I searched for that. But actually, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it because there is no such thing called happiness. Then what happened to me? Don't you think that I'm happy? Actually, what I found is serenity. That's what I found finally. I wanted to find happiness, but after that I thought that happiness is also a trouble. It's called pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. We have many names. When we are vexed because of something, and we try to come out of vexation, Then finally, we achieve something. We feel something. That's called pleasure. Actually, that's the happiness. You want that happiness to continue forever. That's the happiness you have been searching for. But you can't find that. You can't continue it. Because just before you perceive happiness, you need to be vexed. Because happiness or vexation, or more happiness or pleasure, both of them are the same, but you need to find unconditional happiness. That's how you think, I want to find unconditional happiness. That means without using anything, without doing anything, I want to be happy. Actually, if you can achieve that happiness, I agree with you. That should be the best. But the problem is, you don't have any method to achieve that. You can't continue this happiness. If you want to continue this, then you have to do something. Let's assume that you meditate and you come to some levels called jhana. You come to those levels, then you feel happiness. But you have to stay in that position, those levels. You have to stay. To stay, you have to do something. Do something means you have to contemplate. You have to keep contemplating. When you keep contemplating, you can feel happiness. But when you stop that, what happens? I think you may have this experience before. You went for a meditation program, then you started meditating, then after a while, then you felt some happiness. Then when you stay, because you continued your meditation at that time, after that you had to go home, then again you lost your happiness. Now you can see, if you want happiness, you have to continue this. But if you want mental serenity, you don't have to continue that, because it's within you. It's within you. Your mind is placid, ladies and gentlemen. It's like a placid river. It's like a placid lake. But the problem is, due to ignorance and attachment, due to cankers, due to defilements, your mind is vexed. Your mind is vexed, now it has waves. Therefore, you miss the mental serenity. That's what I achieved. I wanted to find happiness, but after that I thought that no, I can't achieve happiness, and I don't want to achieve that. If you try to give me happiness, I don't want it. I don't want happiness. I want to be tranquil. My mind should be serene. That's what I want. That means in front of anything, it doesn't vibrate. It doesn't shake. In front of anything. In front of a beautiful girl. In front of a beautiful scenery. When I listen to a piece of music, my mind doesn't shake. That means I don't want to listen to them. I can hear them, but I don't want to listen to them. But if I want to listen to them, if I wanted to listen to them, then I would listen. I have to. I don't have any choice. That's what happened to you. That's why you think that I want to enjoy my life. You always think like, I want to enjoy my life. I earned some money. Now I'm going to spend that to enjoy my life. That's how you think. But tell me, why do you want to enjoy your life? Why can't you sit like this and stay calm? Why do you really think that you want to enjoy your life? Why can't you sit at your home, in your garden, and stay the whole day? You can't do that because your mind is vexed. Because your mind is not serene, ladies and gentlemen. The mind wants to find something. When it wants to find something, then it is vexed. And you need to do something to come out of vexation. That's why you think, I want to enjoy my life. Then if you stop this, you can't live. Perhaps people will commit suicide because people think that, no, I don't have a joyful life. Then if you think that you don't have a joyful life, and if you try to make your life joyful, then you have to earn money, a lot of money. Do you think that your money is enough to enjoy? I don't think so. You need more. That's the reason. Now you can see, whatever view come to your mind, when you associate other people, they always give you views, mental views. They can say that, oh, this is the best. You must use it. This is a must-watch movie. You should watch before you die. Because there are some movies. Can you imagine that? There are some movies you must watch before you die. That's how people name them. When you hear that, then suddenly you think that this man enjoyed his life by using this. Then you think that you also can enjoy your life. You also can find your happiness by watching that movie. Because you believe that happiness exists. And you believe that you can find happiness, you can achieve happiness. If you go for that, like Nibbana. Nibbana means salvation. Whatever religion you follow, that doesn't matter. If you follow Christianity, let me explain Nibbana in Christianity from Bhagavad Gita. I can do that because I have studied those things, because I wanted to find happiness from those books. But finally, I found happiness from those books. Not happiness, but serenity. Serenity. The Buddha talked about that, mental serenity. Lord Jesus preached about that. Lord Krishna preached about that. I can quote those quotations from those books, how they explained about mental serenity. This is mental serenity. Jesus Christ said, the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven. That is not, he was according to my point of view, I'm telling you, I don't think he mentioned that thing, heaven. You will go after you die, but you are not sure. You haven't heard, you don't know, you have only stories. But in this life, your life is a hell because you suffer, you are vexed, you have wantings, you can't stop those wantings. Therefore, you have mental vexation. You try to do something to come out of that. Each and every day, you have to do all these things. You have to follow all these things and find new things. And again, you follow it. This is a hell. Let me tell you what is heaven. You'll stay somewhere and stay. That's it. You'll stay somewhere. You don't have a book to read. You don't have your phone to scroll. You don't have anyone to talk. But you have your mind. You experience your mind and stay calm. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, one day, if you will be able to experience your mind, you will see, you will experience heaven.
Gurudev, in other words, correct me if I'm wrong, serenity can be perceived as the pleasure of doing nothing?
Yes. Now, doing nothing means, that's what I told you, like you stay here, and if you don't want to do something, that means if you don't have any wanting within you, that's mental serenity. But the problem is, if we believe that we lost something and we need to find it, happiness exists, we need to find it, then now we have an issue because we are searching for something. Because if you search for something, definitely you have lost something.
Unwanting mind.
Yes. You always want something. That's why some people come to us and ask, I want to achieve my salvation, please help. Then I would say, okay, first of all, I will teach you how to not to want to achieve your salvation. Then you will go. Then you will definitely achieve your salvation right now. Because if the thing is, just try to understand this, please. If you want something, you are talking about the future. Yeah, because I want something, that means I don't have that. I want something, that means I will find it in the future. Then if you find it in the future, I'm telling you, time is an illusion. Time doesn't exist in the future. Scientists will find about this. I think nowadays they do some practical things to prove that time doesn't exist. Actually, the Buddha said that, Jesus Christ said that, Lord Krishna said that, everyone said that time doesn't exist. But the problem is, we experience time. Only the mind can experience time. Experience is only the mind can perceive time, but that mind should be that mind should have ignorance and attachment. If the mind has ignorance and attachment, the mind can experience time. Therefore, one day, if you become an arahant, that means if you will be free from ignorance and attachment, I'm pretty sure you won't feel time. That means you won't talk about the past. You don't feel the past. You won't feel the past, you won't feel the present, you won't feel the future. But right now, you feel your existence, you perceive your existence, and you think that this is you, and then when you exist, then definitely you should have your past. If you are an entity, just imagine that. If you are an entity, then definitely you should have a past. Because if you are an entity.
But you said something which I did not understand, because there is no time future, there is no time past. Understandable, no problem with this, because it is a human construct. But when you say there is no time present, it is difficult to understand.
Yeah, let me tell you that. It is really interesting story. Because when you understand this and put it into practice, you will experience what I have experienced. Because there is only one path. It doesn't matter who practices that. You will practice it and you will perceive this. The only problem is, once you become an arahant, that means once your mind is free from ignorance and attachment, you won't feel your existence. If you won't feel your existence, you only experience your mind. Then let's talk about the mind. What is mind? And what is the purpose of the mind? The mind is a process. It's a process, just process, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a being. But you feel a being, therefore you think that you are a human being, and this ant thinks that it's an ant being. It's also being. Elephant beings, ant beings, tiger beings. Those are also beings. And devil beings, God beings. Because a being means you feel your existence. If someone feels his existence, now he feels that he is a being. Being means actually an entity. When you feel that you are an entity, then you are a being. You are a being, and you don't say that this is a being, then you think that this is just an entity. And this building, this company is an entity. And your company is an entity, and your house is an entity, your school is an entity. Therefore, headmasters came and went, came and went, came and went. Everyone who came to the school belonged to the school. Then school became an entity. That's how entities are.
Guru, what about an imaginary being?
Of course. Of course. You feel that you are a being. I use that word, you feel. You feel that. It's a feeling. It's a thought. The Buddha showed us the method, the way, the process of that feeling. When the mind is defiled, the mind feels that it is an entity. Actually, the mind doesn't feel that it's a being. The mind doesn't feel that it's so-called I. The mind feels that it's an entity. It is separated entity. That's how the mind feels, because of ignorance and attachment. Otherwise, the mind is, I wanted to explain about the mind. The mind is the process, and the mind exists to know the changes of the environment. Because this environment, or this nature we talk about, this nature is full of energy. Whether you believe it or not, this is energy. This is energy. This is energy. Everything is energy. Like if you take an electron, it's energy. An electron consists of energy, just energy. If you can remember Albert Einstein equation, E equals mc squared, then in that case we know that E is directly proportional to m. If E is directly proportional to m, that means actually E helps m, which means m consists of E.
Matter is energy.
Yeah. Matter and energy. Actually, we can introduce matter as condensed energy. That is condensed energy. Therefore, we all know that everything is made up of atoms. Atoms are made up of electrons, protons, neutrons. That means energy. Again, we come to the point. Now, then everything is made up of energy. We believe that. If everything is energy, and if energy changes occur, then the process of the mind occurs and perceive it. Don't ask who's going to perceive it. I didn't talk about that. Who's going to perceive it? I was talking about the perception occurs. It's like raining. It is raining. Who's going to rain me? Tell me. When it is raining. Okay, who's going to rain me? Or who's going to do that? Like no one can own that thing because it's an incident. If nature is full of energy, and if energy changes occur, everything must be an incident. It is not time. Everything is an incident. Incidents occur. That's what happened. This.
Chaotic.
Yes. What is it? It is an incident. This is an incident. If you can tell me the past of that incident, what is the past of that incident? What is the past? You know. When this incident occurs, tell me the past of this incident. We can't talk about that because this is an individual incident. If this is an individual incident, we can't talk about its past. When it is raining, what is the past of the raining? We can't talk about the past. What is the future then? We can't talk about the future. What is the future of this incident? Let's assume that you meet an accident. What is the past of that accident? Because accident is just an event or an incident. Therefore, if the world means this nature is full of energy and energy changes occur, then everything must be an incident.
Are you referring to equanimity?
Yeah, I will come to that point.
Why I didn't get that.
Yeah, I will explain. Right? I will explain. Now, you can see, and this is This is an incident. An individual incident, separate incident. When this incident occurs, you heard a sound. And that is also an incident. Because sound is not there, it creates only a vibration. Through that vibration, a sound is created in your mind. That is how the mind is created.
Is it an isolated phenomenon which is not interconnected?
Yeah, of course. Of course. That's why you can't find any past of this. This is just one incident. It's one individual incident. That's it. After that, I would again, it doesn't have any connection between that. This is also another incident. Then now you can see there are many incidents occur. Because energy changes occur.
Sound is energy.
Yeah, sound, not actually sound, vibration is an energy. Sound is created in our mind, that is also some kind of energy. We can say that it is chitta energy, which means the mind energy. But not this energy we are talking about, mechanical energy. But in school, actually, we learned that sound energy. Yeah, you are correct, right? Because we learned that sound energy. Because at school, we thought that sound is in the world. Let me explain that as well. Here, if you see this flower, you may think that this color is in the flower. But actually, this color is created in your mind. This has a pigment. Pigment is not a color. It's a chemical. Color is not a chemical. Color is a perception. Color is not a chemical. This is a deep philosophy, but lovely, because it will free you. As Jesus Christ said, the truth will set you free. I'm going to talk about that. I'm a Buddhist monk. Do you really think that I'm a Buddhist monk? No, I'm not. Because I'm everywhere. That's what I realize. I'm everywhere. Therefore, I can express my love without any condition. When I felt that, I was over the moon. When I thought that, before I had conditions. Before I thought that I was a Sri Lanka. No, not anymore. Therefore, I can express my love to everyone. That's why I'm here. Wherever I travel, no one can shake my mind. You will come to that point. Let's understand this. Here, there are some pigments. Pigments are colors. Pigments are chemicals, which means energy again. But this color is a perception. It's a mental perception. This sound is a mental perception. You can't find sound there. Let's understand this. In your eyes, you may have heard that, or you may have learnt it. There are 3 types of corn cells. R, G, B. Those are corn cells. Corn cells are activated due to some frequency of light. Then your nervous system is activated. If we break your nervous system and check, will it be yellow color when you see this? When we check your brain, will it be yellow color there? If you see yellow color from here, then it should be yellow. Everything must be yellow. But you know that in your nervous system, there is an electric pulse, electric current. That is electric current. It's an electric current. Whether when you hear or when you taste, when you see, that's only an electric current. This color is created in your mind. If this has a color, you can't see this. Because your corn cells are activated just to a frequency of a certain frequency of light energy, not for colors. Therefore, if you have colors here, you can't see. And let's talk about your eardrum. Your eardrum is vibrated, not for the sound, for the vibration. If when I do this, if this sound creates, if this sound is created only this sound is created, then you can't hear, because the sound can't vibrate your eardrum. A vibration can vibrate your eardrum. Therefore, when I do this, a vibration is created. That due to that vibration, your eardrum vibrates. After that, you have a mechanism. Then finally, it goes to hair cell. Then there's something called hair cell. Then hair cells creates, hair cells activate your nervous system. Then it goes to the brain. After that, it connects with the mind. Then the mind is created. Then the mind is created, which means the creation of mind is also a process, and it's an event. Therefore, when energy changes occur, another event occurs that is called the mind. It is an event. It is an incident. Then you hear something. You see something. That means, if you put another way, then we can say a sound is created, a mind is created, a color is created, again a mind is created, a taste is created. When you come to know that your food doesn't have any taste, you won't come here again. Because every day you feel taste, and if I say that your food doesn't have any taste, taste is created in your mind, then you will realize that how can you enjoy your food? Then if you try to find happiness through your food, you never find it. Because you can't taste your food. Let's assume that your food is so tasty, but your nerve system is broken. Then you can't feel it. You can't taste it anymore, because taste is not created in your mind. Taste must be created. That is called the mind. Then, again another one, a smell is created. Now here you can see there are 4 individual events. These individual events occurred. These are events. If you can tell me, because if you believe that this is an event, what is the past of this point? This incident. If this incident doesn't have a past, then this incident also doesn't have a past. Then what about this incident? Because they are separate incidents. They are separate incidents, therefore this doesn't have a past. This is an individual event. Therefore, it doesn't have a past and it doesn't have a future. Actually, time is not applicable. Time is not applicable. But you feel time. I'll show you how. And this is another event. This occurred and it doesn't have a past, because this is not the past of this, because this is an individual event. And this is also an individual event, this is also an individual event. Therefore, actually, in this world, you can only find individual events. Therefore, time doesn't exist.
But there's intention, like when you drop the pen, you had the intention to drop it.
Yeah. Let's assume that I have an intention. Let's say I have an intention, but I'm talking about this incident. When this occurs, it was an individual event. It doesn't have any connection with others. And this is also the same, this is also the same, this is also the same. In this case, you can see we can't apply time, the past, the present, and the future. You can't say that this incident happened in the present. Then if you say that if it happened in the present, then I ask, what is the past then? Yeah? If you think that it happened in the present, then I ask, what is the past of that incident?
Question comes only in existence of the unchangeable, the unchanging aspect, the configuration of the entity. I, entity, so we bring in past, present, future, everything into existence.
Yeah. Yeah, we will come to that later. Then you will realize how do we feel, how we feel this time. I will explain all these things. Right now, these are individual events, but because if you can remember, you have read many books. You have read many books because you wanted to find happiness. You wanted to find something in your life. Therefore, you have read many books. You have followed many philosophies. Among them, perhaps you have found that the present is your salvation. You have found some philosophies. They are very good philosophies. I don't have any comment, but they are good philosophies. But what we have understood is slightly different than that. But if you think that if this incident happened in the future, what would be the past? Now you can say that if we can't find the past, if we can't find the future, then we can't find the present. The other thing is, if you think that the present exists, tell me how many minutes are there? If the time exists, we should be able to measure that. Yes, madam? Yeah? If the time exists, we should be able to measure that. In this case, if the present exists, tell me how many minutes are there? If you can't measure in minutes, let me give you some small units. Let's use seconds. How many seconds? If you can't, then milliseconds. Microseconds? No. The present. Now you can see that you can't measure the present. Actually, it doesn't exist.
And how do you describe that incident in time and space?
That's the thing. In the future, scientists will change everything. I'm telling you, they will change because now they are fed up with time. Because when the time is involved, everything is shaky because it is relative. It is relative because actually time means, like when you watch or when you see the clock, do you really think that the clock shows you the time?
Illusion like.
When you see your watch, then does it show you the time?
Conventionally, yes.
Actually, it doesn't show you the time because it's a machine, ladies and gentlemen. A machine can't show you the time. You feel the time, and the watch or the clock measure it. It helps you to measure it. Like if a minute hand goes one round, then you think that 1 hour is over. Then 1 hour. But you felt 1 hour. You just felt 1 hour, but the clock didn't show you 1 hour. It went one round. Okay, I have another clock. Look this. Did you feel time? Let's use this clock. Because this is also measured. I can measure this.
During pleasure, that 1 hour is felt like 1 minute. And during pain, that 1 hour is felt like 5 hours.
Yes.
Einstein.
Yeah. In that case, we can see that actually we feel time, but it's only a feeling. Therefore, this clock can't show us the time. It's a machine. Earlier we used sand to measure time, if you can remember that, those clocks in ancient times.
Sand clocks.
Sand clocks, if you can remember that. Then that's also a machine. Then in this case, then we keep it like that, and we pour some sand here. Then the sand drops. When it is over, it is 1 hour. That means actually what happened is this sand drops completely. That's an incident. Within that incident, how many times I can catch this? This is how we measure time. How many times I can catch this? This is also incident. How many incident can be happened within this incident? That's how we measured. But we felt time, therefore we thought that we measure time. And we put illusional time into this, and we thought that when this comes here, it is 1 hour, and during that 1 hour, that illusional 1 hour, man-made 1 hour, mind-made 1 hour, within that 1 hour, how many incidents can be done? Or can occur?
So we are choosing that
Of
is
course.
in our
Very good.
Yes,
Yes. Then let's assume that we erase this.
there is the need.
Still we can do that because this incident occurs. During this incident, can't we do this?
It came down.
It came down, and until it happened, I can do this. Then why do we have to write 1 hour?
For a convenience sake.
Yes, convenience, good, but it's not to measure, but it's not the truth, because we don't need that. If it is the truth, we need it. We can't live without the truth. In that case, we can see that the time is not the truth. This incident is truth. When this incident occurs, we can do some other things. I think in ancient times they had to fight. They had to fight when they boxing or something like that. They had to fight, and they had to fight during this happened. That means during this incident, or within this incident, they had to fight and finish. Sometimes they fight 2 rounds, 3 rounds within that. Or we can remove this, and we can ask them to fight. During that fight, we read a book. Again, that is one incident occurs, and this incident occurs. I read a page. Within that, I ask you to jump. Reading a page is an incident. Within that incident, you can do something. In that case, actually, incident occurs, time is an illusion. But no one agree with this because everyone can feel it. Everyone can feel it. Everyone can feel it because the mind is ignorant. Until you find the Buddha. Buddha means until you see the truth. Until you find Christ. You will be in this illusion. Then you will have the past. You will have the future. Just imagine that when you have a past means when you feel your past, you only regret this, because if something good happened to you, it was over. Therefore, again you regret, because something good happened to you, now it is not anymore. If something bad happened to you, you always think about that, oh, he did that to me, she did that to me. Again you regret. You can't be happy by thinking your past. But can you stop thinking your past?
Only focusing on your present.
Can you do that? Can you
Then
stop
let it
thinking?
go.
Hmm?
You will, and you can't stop thinking of the past, but you can let it go.
Yeah.
You can observe it and just let it pass.
Yeah. Then you had to do something to let it pass. You had to perhaps go to church. You had to go to the temple, or you had to think about that. No, that's okay. He did that to me, but I forgive you. I forgive you. How many times can you do this? Just imagine that. How many times do you have to do this? Therefore, that's not the best method. You can forgive.
You can accept that it's something that happens, but it's in the past, it's not in your present. So if you focus on your present, you understood that that is not happening right now.
Yes.
So
Good.
you don't need to be aware of it.
Yeah, good. Then in the present, if something happened to me,
But it's an instant too. And you can choose if you can hold to that instance or simply let it go.
yeah, that's why. Then we had to let it go. We had to do something. That means we have to achieve something. We had to do something. But the Buddha said, once you achieve your serenity, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You will feel your mental serenity. That's it. That's the path I'm going to talk to you. But it's really good. You ask questions and we will discuss. This is a good discussion. And I'm not talking against you. I just try to correct you and according to my point of view. That's it. Huh? That's it.
What you say is very logical because I want to think of it on the temporal level. The time is temporal, objective of time. The temporal level, there is no point which you can call present. You say it and it's gone. There is no present.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, actually, this is not my wisdom. This is the wisdom of the Buddha. This is the wisdom of Jesus Christ. This is the wisdom of Prophet Muhammad and Lord Krishna. That's how I got these things. Because this universe is full of energy and full of wisdom. We just need to accept the universe. When we accept the universe, then we can grab that. That's what happened to us. Therefore, actually, you pray your God or your teacher. That's it. That's what I do. I pray. Pray means I respect everyone. I respect all the spiritual teachers because they told the truth, but people can't understand that and couldn't understand that, won't understand. Because people's mind is full of ignorance, therefore they try to separate them. They try to separate the world because of ignorance. People like the world to be separated. I'll come to that and let you know. Let's go to this again. Now you can see this is an incident. When this incident occurs, you can do some other incidents as well. Therefore, actually, we can replace time with incidents. Now if we come to this point, here you can see these 4 incidents occurred, but they are individual. Therefore, we can't talk about the present, the past, and the future. Now, let's assume that these incidents occurred to you. Let's create you now. That means I, the existence. If these incidents occurred to you, that means if a being is created and that being thinks that this incident occurred to that being, when this incident is occurring, is happening, this being thinks that it is the present. Because this is the entity. When an entity is created, these incidents are taken by that entity. Then that entity can say, this is the present because this is the incident that is happening to that entity. Then this happened It is an individual event, ladies and gentlemen. But this being thinks that it happened. Look, I used ed. This entity thinks that it happened to him. Otherwise, you can't use past tense. Actually, if we can continue this, we can remove future tense and past tense both. Actually, after that, we can't talk because we had to, we had to remove present as well. But in conventionally, actually, we have to talk about all these things. But when it comes to the reality, when it comes to the absolute truth, here you can see this being, which is this entity, thinks that this is the past. This happened to him. Just before that, this happened to him. That's how you can feel your past, ladies and gentlemen. That's not your past. Look, let's assume that someone hit me. Why do you regret? A long time ago, someone hit me. Then why do you regret? You don't have to regret because that doesn't happen to you. That happened to me. When something happened to me, you don't have to regret. Now the problem is, when your existence is created, try to understand the logic. That's why the Buddha said this existence, this is false sense of existence. This false sense of existence is the cause of suffering. Because of this, you all suffer. Because of this, you feel the future, the past, and the present. When you feel the past, you only feel pleasure. You only feel regret. And when you think about your future, you feel only vexation and fear.
So it's attachment to the incident too in some way.
Yes, because it happened. Because now these incident happened to you. That's why incident occurred, ladies and gentlemen. But that doesn't happen. That didn't happen to you. But when you feel that it happened to you, let's assume that I have some incidents here, and if you feel that those incidents happened to you, then you have to forgive, you have to let it go, because you feel that it happened to you. Okay, something happened to me. Can you forgive it for me, please? Someone hit me in 2000. When I think that, I regret. Let's assume that I regret. Do you? Oh, can you let it go for me? On behalf of me, can you do something? And you know that you don't want to do all these things because you don't regret. Because that's not your past. That's my past. The problem is not the past, ladies and gentlemen. The problem is your past.
Starts with the story of that being. As long as there's a story, there is all those problems.
That's right. Everyone has a story. Everyone has a story because you all, actually, I'm sorry to say that, you all are good actors in your own drama. You are the writer. You are a good script writer and you write, and first of all, you are the main character as well. That's why you say, I saw that, I will do that. She is my wife, she is my husband, my spouse, and I. That's your drama.
We are the greatest directors of our own movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Movie created by us.
And the worst part is we don't even know that it is a movie.
Yes. And the other thing is, you only experience is suffering, and from time to time you experience pleasure. Therefore, you believe that everything is pleasurable. Now, an entity is created. When that entity is created, now everything is taken by that entity. Therefore, when the entity thinks about this, then this will be its future. This will be its past. That's how some incident occurred and existence is manifested, or existence manifest. At that time, those incidents that occurred becomes a past. Otherwise, you can't talk about a past. Before you talk about a past, can I say that a past that was past? When I say that, that was past. When I say that, you think that I made some English error. It should be that was the past. Why do I want to put the?
To be more specific.
Yes. Look, otherwise, I made a mistake. That was past. I had to say that was the past. Otherwise, I had to say that the past of something. Of. I had to tell about an owner. Past of. That's my past. That's your past. Let's talk about history. That's history. What do you mean by that? Oh, that's history. You can understand that. At least you have to say that's the history. But still you are waiting. That's the history? Yeah. You are waiting because you expect me to say something. Because when we talk about the history, that should be the history of something. Therefore, we have to create an entity all the time if we want to talk about the past. Let's talk about future. Again, let's talk about future. No, let's talk about the future of. At least we have used the future, then we will know that, we are going to talk about the future of someone or something. When we talk about the history of England, history of New Zealand, history of India, history of Sri Lanka, history of China, whatever. History of the past of, we have to use that. Because without an entity, we can't talk about anything. Therefore, if you talk about your past, you have to talk about your past. You have to say that this is my past. Otherwise, you can say that some individual events happened. Individual events happen. It was raining yesterday. Day before yesterday, it was raining. 2 days before yesterday, it was raining. It was raining. That's it. You only can say that it was raining. It was raining. It was raining. What is the history of it was raining? Again, it was raining because no one is there. You can't appoint an owner for that. Therefore, you can't talk about the history. If you want to talk about the history, you have to create an entity, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you think that you have a past. Actually, you don't have a past, ladies and gentlemen. You regret, but you don't have a past. But the problem is, you feel that you have a past. You feel that that happened to you. You feel that you have children. Because that's also an event. If something happened to your children, let's assume that something happened to your children, or one of your children, then still you think that incident happened to me, like me, you. That incident happened to you. That's why you regret. That's why you suffer. That's why you lament. Lamentation occurs in your mind, ladies and gentlemen. You can't bear that. You cry every day. This happened. That's why you go for church. You go for a temple. And you go to God and ask. Please go and ask wisdom. Don't ask anything else. Just ask wisdom. Then He will say that I came, or I sent my son. Didn't you hear him? Didn't you listen to him? Didn't you read his book? Wisdom. Let's achieve wisdom. When you understand everything, then your problem will be sorted. Your problem is this. And the other thing is, just tell me, do you want, or just tell me that you want to perceive something or own that incident? What do you want actually? Is perceiving is enough, or do you really want to own that? Then I can help you. If you want to own that and regret over and over again, then I don't have to do anything. I ask, just stay as it is. Then, because you do that now. Otherwise, if perceiving is enough, that means these incidents are enough. You don't need this. Otherwise, you think that when we achieve our salvation, won't we feel anything after that? No, you feel everything, but you won't feel suffer and fear. You won't feel suffering and fear. You won't suffer anymore. You won't be afraid anymore. You feel fear and you feel suffering because of this. But you don't want this, ladies and gentlemen, because here you can see something. Here you can hear something. Here you can taste something. That's what you wanted. You didn't want suffering. You just wanted to perceive the world. That is happiness. Oh, that is the mental serenity. You perceive everything, but you won't suffer.
Right. We may say that if you can learn to perceive the incidents as incidents only and nothing else, then there is no reason why you should not be able.
Yes, but that's not the way. But what I showed you is the truth. Then I want to talk about the path. The Buddha talked about the path to achieve this. Otherwise, we have to keep doing that. We have to think that, oh, this is an individual event, this is an individual, this is an individual event, it also will pass, it also will pass. We don't have to do all these things. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, I don't do all these things. I just live, ladies and gentlemen. If you ask me to stay here, I'll stay here. If you ask me to go, if you scold me by using indecent words, even, I won't utter any word against you. Because you can't shake my mind. That doesn't mean that I don't feel anything. It means I don't hear anything. If I'm deaf, okay, of course you can tell anything. If I'm blind, you can show me anything, and you can blame me or whatever. But I can see, I can hear, I can taste, I can smell. But the mind is serene. The mind is serene because this is an individual event. How do I know that? I know that because you need to do something to this. Therefore, we don't have to talk about this, ladies and gentlemen, because this is the mind and this is what exists. But because of ignorance and attachment, this happened. That's why we need to deal with ignorance and attachment. Somehow we need to eradicate ignorance and attachment. We need to find the method. We need to find the way to eradicate ignorance and attachment.
But Guru, when you said, I can smell, I can taste, I can see, I can taste, I can touch. When there is touching and seeing and hearing, all these are processes, where are you then?
Yeah, of course. But how can I talk? How can I talk? That's why I have to use that I can see.
But there is no I.
That's the thing. Because this is I. Look, I can see, which means I seeing here seeing see, that incident, that seeing, that the process happened, and I happened. I will show you.
There is a third thing also. There should be a subject, and then the process, and then this particular subject.
Yeah, we will come to that. There are two processes, but I will draw some Buddhist scriptures. But if you can't understand it, don't worry. Okay? Don't worry. The mind is a process. It has 5 steps according to the Buddha. It has 5 steps. Rupa, which is called Rupa, which means form. Vedana, that is called actually notification. It's kind of notification. That means when, I will come back to that. Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. This is perception. This is formation. Now when I said formation, then you might think formation.
Mental formation.
Yeah. Then we don't have to we don't have to talk about that. When you learn about this deeply, you can go through. Otherwise, don't take it. However, this is the process of the mind. This is the process of the mind. When this occurs, seeing occurs, hearing occurs. That means when this incident occurs, actually this happens. This is the mind. When these 5 steps are done, that is the mind. At the same time, because of ignorance and attachment, we can say because of ignorance, attachment is created. There's a process. Because of attachment, vexation is created. Because of vexation, now the mind wants to come out of vexation. That is called abhisankara. Abhisankara, that's another name. Don't worry about that. You can forget it. Abhisankara. After abhisankara, you come out of vexation. Then you feel relief. You feel pleasure. With the pleasure, at the same time, you will feel your existence. I'll tell you why. Then you will feel your existence. The Buddha said it is jati. And in English we use the ego. This ego is not pride. This ego is the false sense of existence. I had to say that it's false sense of existence because I can't just say that it's existence. Because it's a sense and it is false.
You said in the last sermon, I believe, there is some bhava here also. Bhava. Yeah. Just before that. I just missed that because it is too much otherwise. Right? Now, here you can say, because of ignorance, attachment is created. Because of attachment, vexation is created. When the mind is vexed, the mind wants to come out of vexation. That's why actually when your mind is vexed, you do something to come out of vexation. Just after that, you feel pleasure. Without vexation, you can't experience pleasure. I think you have experienced pleasure because of vexation. If you really want pleasure again, you have to be vexed first. You lost your phone. You were vexed. You found it. You were over the moon. Then if you want to be over the moon, what should you do? Again, you have to lose your phone. Just understand that concept. Otherwise, if you have any method you can achieve pleasure without vexation, please let me know. Not possible. It's not possible. Therefore, please don't think that this world is pleasurable. And don't think that this world is vexatious. This world isn't vexatious, ladies and gentlemen. Ask me. No, this is not vexatious.
Both are same.
Yeah. This is neutral. This is neutral. This is not vexatious. This is not pleasurable either. This is neutral. But when your mind has attachment, when the mind gets attached to this, then vexation is created. Then you have to do something to see this. When you see this, you will feel the pleasure. Then you think that, oh, by seeing this, I can earn, or I can perceive pleasure. Therefore, you buy this. To buy this, you have to earn money. That's why you do a job. And by doing your job, you have wasted your time. I'm sorry to say that. Again, sorry, I use one word. Time. No, you didn't waste your time. What did you waste? Life. That was better, I think. If you waste your time, that would be better. But you didn't waste your time. You waste your life. That's why, until now, you have a question. What should I do? But this is the answer. I'm telling you, this is the answer to your all problems. I'll show you what is the ego and how does it form. Vexation. When the mind is vexed, our mind has a safety mechanism. When the mind is vexed, the mind activates the safety mechanism. When that safety mechanism is called abhisankara. You may have seen mad people, insane people. How did they become one of them? Because of vexation. Let's assume that a mother lost her child. She can't bear it, tolerate it. But finally, she went mad. Then she saw a pen. We saw a pen, but she saw a baby. You have seen mad people. They have some objects. They think that they are their babies or mothers or whoever. That means actually they can see a baby. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
That means if we connect our mind to their mind, we also will see a baby.
She created a baby.
Yeah. In her mind. That is abhisankara. But that abhisankara is too strong abhisankara. We don't have that abhisankara. If that happened in this life, they can't do anything. But this happened to us as well. Because this vexation occurs because we believe that. We believe that everything is an entity in this world. Because we feel like that. You know that this is one flower and this is another flower. Then you know that this flower is not this flower and this flower is not this flower. Therefore, you think that all these things are separate entities. That's why you have named them, Sachin. You have named them flowers, and if you take flowers, you have 1,000 names. Houses, churches, temples, people, everyone. Everyone is an entity. That's how you believe. The mind believes that everyone is an entity. That's the ignorance, Sachin.
Variety is the spice of life.
Now, because of that, attachment is created to observe, to perceive those entities. But the thing is, nothing is entity in this world. Everything is a process. Nothing is an entity. Everything is an individual event. Nothing is an entity. You can't say, that's why you can't say the past of this. You can't say the owner of this. This is a flower, but this is an incident as well.
It's causes and conditions.
Yeah. This is an event.
Incident continually happening.
Yeah.
Happening.
Yeah. Therefore, we can say that this is also an event. This is also an incident. Your body is an incident. It occurs right now.
Yes. Okay.
If you take those individual events, you can see that everything is an event, not an entity. But the mind believes that everything is an entity,
Fixed.
fixed entities.
But when an incident happened, can you say it was non-existent?
No, that incident exists. That incident exists, but that incident is not an entity. To become an entity, you should have more than one entity, one event. But you can't. This flower doesn't have two events. Let's say this is one event, okay, but this doesn't have two events. Then you will say this is one event. This doesn't have two events. Therefore, when we take one small individual event, the least one, let's say, the tiniest one, when we take that the small individual event, it doesn't have two events. It's one individual event. Nothing is an entity in this world, but the mind believes that everything is an entity because we feel like that, we perceive like that. When the mind believes that, then the mind gets attached to perceive that entities. But the problem is, nature is not an entity. Nature is an incident. Therefore, the mind can't perceive any entity. That's why the mind is vexed. Nature doesn't support, because nature doesn't have any entity to show you. Show the mind. Therefore, nature doesn't support, but the mind is vexed and the mind wants to come out of vexation. When you want a cup of tea, when you want a cup of tea, now you are vexed, I'm going to give you a pack of cards. Will you be okay with that? When you want a cup of tea, you are vexed, and if you want to come out of vexation, you want a cup of tea. Let's assume that a cup of tea is not there. That means tea doesn't exist. Then how do you survive? You want a cup of tea because you believe that tea exists. Then you want a cup of tea, but actually tea doesn't exist. What would you do? Vexation increases? Tell me quickly. Vexation increases because you want.
Hot glass of water was again go.
Yeah? Now, because you wanted and you are vexed now, you need it. You need it quickly. But the problem is, it doesn't exist. Then vexation increases over and over. Then it comes to a certain level, ladies and gentlemen. After that, the mind can't tolerate. Then the mind creates an illusion. Then you will see a cup of tea from perhaps a cup of water. That's called madness. But here, not that much of madness, but a little bit of madness occurs. Because of here, vexation, the mind was vexed, and then the mind wanted to come out of vexation, but nature doesn't support, because nature doesn't have any entities. Nature has only individual events. In that case, abhisankara, this safety mechanism is activated, and it makes the mind perceive an entity. That is self.
That entity makes the tea and has it.
That is self. That's why the Buddha said it's a false sense of existence.
So the abhisankara creates the self, is that right?
Yeah. But not only abhisankara, everything should be there. Yeah? The abhisankara. Yeah. Yeah, madam?
I understand that, but I think that we need to have some self-existence, because if not, why I will eat, what I will drink. Because if I don't have some existence of myself, of my existence, I wouldn't do anything for my own survival. I won't eat, I won't drink. So I need to be conscious that I am alive and I am a being, and for that I need to eat. For nutrition, not for pleasure, but I need it.
Yeah, because if this occurs, you will do all these things. You don't need this.
What was the...
This is the mind. The mind, actually, when you are hungry, why do you eat? Because of yourself, or you know that you are hungry and you have to eat after that. When you are hungry, you eat. Yeah? Okay. Why? Because of you are yourself, or you know that when you are hungry, you need to eat something.
This process.
Because you know that. The mind knows everything. The mind, here, when you remove that part, what you said is correct, man. When you remove that part, you won't feel yourself, but you feel the mind. That means the mind feels the mind. Then you can access your knowledge. Then if an elephant comes towards you, what should you do? You will run. Who told you that? Your knowledge. You don't need yourself to do that. Yes, ma'am?
This is about to be conscious of your mind.
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Okay.
Yes. Consciousness is very important because consciousness is the mind. You have to be conscious, and this is your consciousness. Actually, that is consciousness. This is consciousness, this is ego. We need to.
Guru Thera, the RVSSV is a pure mind.
Yes.
The IA, VEX, AAS, Jati is an impure mind.
Impure mind means that is the ego.
Yeah.
Impure mind. That means that is the impurities of the mind. That's how the mind is defiled.
So the seeker of the truth has to concentrate more on RVSSV
Yeah.
rather than IA, VEX.
Yes. When we learn about this properly, you can eradicate ignorance. Ignorance is like darkness, ladies and gentlemen. The darkness is gone away when the light comes.
It is a deception.
Yeah.
Tamaso
Yes.
ma Jyotirgamaya.
There's
Well
no
said.
problem with sensing. The problem is with identifying with the objects and getting attached. So,
Now you can see this is the problem. Because if you can eradicate this, then you will perceive all these things. And events will happen. You will see things, you will hear things, and you will have a serene mind. This is a serene mind. This is the original way, or original condition of your mind.
Speak with such clarity.
We know this in theory. It's the practice where we
Yeah, we will talk about that.
challenge.
Yes.
The theory, we
Well done. If you can understand the theory, that's the
but in the
best.
practice doesn't.
Huh? Yeah.
Practice is the
When
problem.
you start theory, you'll be practicing, definitely. It is impossible to know theory without practicing.
That's the thing. Yeah. well,
With the sample of the flower, will be the ego will say the flower is yellow. The consciousness will be my perception of the flower is yellow.
Yeah. Actually, your consciousness says
Well,
the other way around. Yeah. Yeah. What you said is correct. Yeah. Yeah. Now, in this case, now you can see this ego is an illusion. But you can see that ego is an illusion. Actually, we all are half mad. That's the actual truth. Actually, just half. The full are in mental hospital. They are fully mad. They are, because they can't control anything. But you can control, but you will see yourself. Can you imagine that, ladies and gentlemen? You feel that you have been in this for infinite long journey of samsara. If you believe in samsara, otherwise, if you believe, you should believe your existence right now. Therefore, from your birth to now, you have been doing this. It was happening to you. It has been happening to you, ladies and gentlemen. You have been suffering because of that.
Yeah. So that becomes a month.
Can you imagine that, ladies and gentlemen? If we have the solution, why don't we follow the path?
I think lack of intensity maybe.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yes, but when we understand this, as you said, like when can we practice? Actually, no.
No.
When you listen to this, actually you have practice. That's why you can understand this. Then when you listen to more, when you discuss more, when you contemplate, the Buddha asks us to do 5 things. We can do 5 things to practice this. One, right now you do. That's what? Listening. You listen and understand. I speak, which means I preach to you and listen. Both, I do the both. Therefore, actually something best happened to me. Because I practice twice. I preach and listen. And you listen and contemplate. Each time when you listen to this, you need to contemplate. Now, when you understand this, you can discuss. Like right now, or like small groups. And actually in our monastery we practice all these 5 methods. We are gathered like as small groups and we discuss. We discuss the one starts. After that, everyone adds their thoughts regarding this and we discuss. Likewise, entire day we spend time like that. We have more than 800 people who reside in the monastery. We all enjoy this. We all enjoy this because this is mental serenity. Definitely we can achieve it, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to practice. I will show how to practice.
What are those 5 things, Gurudeva?
Yeah,
Listening,
one is listening, the other one is preaching,
speaking,
then chanting. Chanting means it's not like mantra, like Sanskrit mantra. It's not like Sanskrit mantra because we have to know the meaning. Without knowing the meaning, it doesn't have any value. But in Sanskrit mantra, yes, without meaning, because it's regarding gods and these spiritual powers. But here, this Buddha's teaching, some sutras you have heard about the scriptures. There, this explains actually. This explains those in those sutras. Then you can use those sutras and you can chant. The other thing is you can contemplate.
4.
Chanting, contemplating,
Something
discussing,
discussing.
and preaching and listening. When we can do all 5 things. We do that because all the time we can't listen and we can't preach. We have to contemplate. Perhaps you think that Buddhism is meditation. Then you try to close your eyes and you start meditating. According to my point of view, actually it's useless. It's useless. You can't attain Nibbana, but you can get some sort of mental relaxation. The Buddha said, to achieve your Nibbana, you need wisdom, not the samadhi. Samadhi is not the concentration of the mind. You just need wisdom. With wisdom, you will achieve this. I achieve this with wisdom. I'm not saying that I have fully achieved this, and I don't consider about that. If I'm happy, which means if my mind is serene, I will move forward.
Gurudeva, so Buddha said, if I'm not mistaken, something like Satipatthana. So that is about meditation, is it not?
No, actually, yes, it is about meditation. It is about meditation. But that meditation, the meaning of the meditation is completely different to what people know. But people know. But people think that meditation is just closing your eyes. Perhaps first of all, you need to go to Himalayas. That means you go to jungle.
Meditation is one of the most abused words in the current time.
Of course.
It has been abused by everyone
Yeah.
except the Buddha.
Yeah.
That's true.
Actually, if you consider about your mind has few characteristics, few powers actually. One is the memory power. It has a memory. Only the mind has a memory. This power doesn't have a memory. We can say that like some plants have a memory, but I'm not talking about that memory. The mind has memory. The mind can remember events that occurred. Memory power. That's how you can remember a song and you can replay it, redo it. That's how it is. The other one is analyzing power. I think you were talking about that. You, like try to analyze things. How does this work, and so on. Analyzing power. The other one is it has a power to be aware. Actually, in this case, to attain Nibbana, to achieve this, achieve your salvation, you need the third one. We use the memory,
And this the last one.
awareness. That means be aware. You can be aware. The mind can be aware. This flower can't. We use these three powers to attain Nibbana, but mainly awareness.
Can you say three again?
Memory, then analyzing ability, because normally we always analyze things. We
Like
always want discrimination. Like when you take this, then you try to remove this one. When you see this, you think that how does this flower, or how did they make this? I know you can't just be aware of this. You can't enjoy this because you think. You go into that. And you try to find the methods, all these things. Because the mind has that ability. That's why we are human beings.
Investigative analysis.
Yes. Assessing, investigating, analyzing, all this. We do all the time. And we think about all the things. Like you just can't see this, because while you are seeing this, you start thinking. You can't just be aware and just see this, because we have that power, therefore we always use it. But to attain Nibbana, you need that as well. That is called samatha. If you have heard about two type of meditation, samatha and vidarshana.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Samatha, we use samatha meditation. That is, we analyze things. That's how actually I help you to analyze things now. Now we learn this, and in the future when we talk about this, we talk more about this. Then you can analyze. When you analyze, actually the Buddha said, while you are listening to the Dhamma, you can practice samatha and vidarshana both at the same time. It is true, because you use your guru's wisdom right now. Because whoever preached you, then that's your guru. Then that guru's wisdom is used here. Then you try to understand that, and at the same time you contemplate. That means you apply that into your life. That's why the Buddha said, when you listen to the Dhamma, when you preach to the Dhamma, you can have both of them at the same time. We don't believe in one-pointedness. That means you concentrate.
That is concentration.
Your mind to some
Breathing in,
point,
breathing out.
breathing in and breathing out. Yes, the Buddha said, with the talk about anapanasati, but that anapanasati, according to my point of view again, that anapanasati is not breathe in and out. That is actually that belongs to Hinduism. That is called pranayama. Pranayama. That's called pranayama. But Buddha said, according to my point of view, according to my understanding, the Buddha said, you need to inhale the truth and exhale.
Asatoma Satyama.
Exhale your cankers.
Sorry, one more time. You inhale what?
You inhale the truth and you exhale your cankers, defilements. Mental defilements, all these things, ignorance, attachment, vexation, all these things are mental defilements. And you need to exhale those things. That anapanasati is the greatest meditation in Buddhism, but it has been distorted, as you said. That also has been abused more than 3 times, I think. Let's talk about death, because you are afraid of death.
No.
We all say that, no, you don't. Then when you're at gunpoint, let me explain this. Actually, everything has an explanation. I want you to get this explanation done, and I want you to practice after that. I warmly invite you to our monastery for at least for a month, and come and stay with us and start practicing this with us, with the guidance of teachers. Everything is free. Perhaps you need to find some small accommodation somewhere, and we will feed you and we will protect you. That's fine, because actually we need to spread this. We don't follow a religion, essentially. Our religion is humanity. I don't use like animals because of they can't understand this. If they can understand it, I will go and preach in the zoo as well. But human beings can understand this. No matter what religion, no matter what color, everyone can understand. Jesus Christ belongs to the world, essentially, not for the Christian people or whoever.
But not all human beings, Guru.
And that's the problem.
My wife doesn't understand. Even my child doesn't understand.
No, actually, that's the reason. The Buddha belongs to the world, everyone. Therefore, I don't like someone says Buddha belongs to Buddhist.
Yes.
It's awakening.
Of course, that's wisdom.
In the same way, Jesus Christ was not a Christian.
Of course, that's wisdom. That's wisdom. We should believe that. That's wisdom. Therefore, that's what we believe there. Therefore, we invite everyone and we practice. We just need you to have a serene mindset. That's the gift finally you can offer to us, and offer this to someone else as well.
But Guru, why is it? I mean, it also boggles my mind. Like, I'm a born Hindu, born Indian. I am attracted towards Buddhism. I'm practicing Buddhism now because of the sheer force, intensity of the truth inside this philosophy. That is my attraction. Why is it that not many people understand this? Why there are few who understand it?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's truth, everybody should have a right on the truth.
Yeah.
Everybody should understand this. Why not?
Of course, the main reason is people are not meritorious enough. You just imagine that. If you believe in karma, let's say you believe in karma, whatever you have done in the past, and it will come, and in that case, if you suffer, let's assume that right now you have a headache. If you have a headache, and in one point we can think that is your past karma. Because of that, you have the pain. Then, to come out of that pain, you need some help. And actually, you need some merits. Merits means some good things you have done, and it should come. If you have enough merits, you will find a doctor, or at least some paracetamol. If you have some merit. Then if you want to be rich, means like to have everything what you want, you should believe that you need some sort of merits you have done. Then imagine that if you are going to eradicate all sort of sufferings forever. How much merit do you need? And how much merit do you think? That's the reason. You all are meritorious. Whether you understood it or not, you all are meritorious because you wanted to listen. That means actually you have some merits. You have earned merits to understand this or to listen to this. Try to understand this. This is not my first time. I have been trying this for infinite eons. This is the chance I got. Therefore, I practice with my life. I don't want to lose this anymore. Therefore, no matter what, I practice. No one has to force me to, no one has to ask me to do that. I practice. I practice, therefore, I am fruitful. Before I loved people. I wanted to love people. But now I feel that I am the love. Therefore, no matter who comes to me, I love them. I don't have any condition in my mind. To whom I preach to whom I preach. Just try to feel that. But before, I loved my mother. Right? But now, I love mothers. I feel the same. If I preach to my mother, I can do the same. With same intention, and same compassion, and same loving kindness. That's why I told you, you need to achieve this serenity. When you achieve your mental serenity, that will be your happiness.
Yeah.
Then you will perceive things like such. Right now, I'll show you why actually the reason you can't feel happiness, because when you perceive something, from your mind, you only perceive you only use this half, only this much to perceive. Then when you see this bouquet of flower, then you only use this much. The other part is vexation.
Didn't understand.
If this is the mind, this vexation occurs all the time. And this is the perception. Perception occurs, but vexation takes more area of the more volume of the mind. That means you feel more vexation than
Half true and half created, right?
yeah.
1/4 true and 3/4 created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But vexation.
Vexation.
Because vexation is created because of expectation. Because you don't believe that this is the best. Because you believe entities in the world.
Yeah.
When everything is an entity, then you find entities. Then according to your views, you have views from people. That's why you might say that this pen is bad, this is good.
Nityadikti.
Yes. You have those views. Therefore, you perhaps this is not the best one, this is the best one. But you have this. But you know that this is the best one. Because you believe that these two are separate entities. But the truth is, these two are the same. These two are two different incidents. If these two are different incidents, how can you say that this is better than this? You can't be relative to the relativity can't be applied here. This is absolute. Because this is one event and this is one event. This doesn't happen according to this. Therefore, this is one event, this is one event. Therefore, you should have, or you should vote for these two 50-50. Because these two are two different events. Then why do you like this and you don't like this? What happened? Okay, what is your favorite color? Choose one color. Then you might say that I like red color. Then I had to ask why. Why? Why do you hate this? Or why don't you like this? What did it?
There is chitta obsessiveness.
Yes, because you believe that these two are two different things. These two are two different things. Therefore, because of one view you got, someone said that red is bright. It's so beautiful. I like red. I enjoy red. When you hear that, you think that red is the best. Then suddenly you have that view that red is the best. Then when you have the blue, that means this blue color, then what will happen? You perceive this, but you want this. That means you try to live in the future. You have an expectation. An expectation is always vexation. It causes to vexation. Expectation. Then you have this, you experience this, but you want this. Therefore, when you want this, your mind is vexed and you experience this. Therefore, you can perceive this. That's why I wrote it here. You perceive this, and this is your vexation. Now you can see, this is your entire perception, but it is full of vexation. That's why you can't be satisfied with what you perceive, what you associate with. That's why you need more. When you buy something, then you use it once, and after that you have to buy again. Another one, another one, another one, another one.
Perpetually vexed.
Yes. There are two things. One is, that happened physically.
Sorry.
That happened physically. You can't stop that because
Yeah.
he's snoring, and then you can't stop him. That's one thing. The other one is your mental pain, because that happened to you. I can teach you how to stop mental vexation. You need to find a solution. You need to find another block of flat, or another flat to live. I also had to do the same thing, because otherwise, if I can't sleep, then I can't live. Here we don't have a solution for that, but we have a solution for the mental suffering. Because when you face that, let's just in the small example, when you have a headache, you have two pains. One is physical pain, the other one is mental pain. Because you have a mental pain, because physical pain is an incident, it occurs because of causes. That's why we use paracetamol. But when you use paracetamol, you can't fade your mental pain away. It is there. To chase away mental pain, you need to practice this. But to stop bodily pain, then you can have paracetamol. That's how it is. Here we use these methods to stop mental pain. But that thing is, if something happened physically, then you have to find a solution for that. Like you can't pay the rent. Then your landlord is going to throw you out. But you have a mental pain, because I couldn't pay my rent, what will happen to me, what will happen to me? That's mental pain, double.
Yeah.
Then we can use this and reduce that not reduce, actually completely wipe it out. That means we can stop that process completely. Then, but anyway, we have to find another flat, another house. Otherwise, yes, mental pain is the hardest. Mental pain, people can't tolerate that. That's people commit suicide because of mental pain, not because of physical pain. Very rarely, people commit suicide because of physical pain. People can't tolerate that. That's why if we can achieve this, if we can practice this, then definitely we will be serene. And let me tell you, finally, should be finally perhaps. Actually, you can enjoy. You can see that you can enjoy this Dhamma. Dhamma means the truth, because we are talking about the truth. I have a million things to say. I only said one thing, because this Dhamma is the sweetest thing in the world. I have felt that, ladies and gentlemen. I have felt that. I don't need anything. I don't need anything, because if you can touch the truth of the world, you won't need anything. You just feed me, ladies and gentlemen. That's enough. You feed me whatever you want. If you saw that we went Pindapati, which means we went for the alms round, you offered us. Everyone offered one small spoon of something. We ate that. Did we complain? No. We ate some. We couldn't eat everything. We just ate some. This much. That's enough. I enjoyed it a lot. Thank you very much for your food. I enjoyed it a lot. How? Perhaps you couldn't enjoy that much. I'm sorry, but we will do it later. We will enjoy. That's what I do. I enjoy each and every moment in my life. That's why this is the best happened to my life, ladies and gentlemen. This is the best. I enjoy each and every moment in my life. When I eat, I enjoy. I enjoy my meal. I enjoy my meal. I don't dance, but I feel it. I feel it. I feel it to the fullest. But here, you can't feel it to the fullest. Because when the mind is vexed, you feel vexation when you perceive something. That's why you are not satisfied with anything. Otherwise, when you look at this once, that's enough. You won't want to perceive it anymore. But right now, if you see this one, perhaps if you think that, oh, this is so beautiful, then tomorrow this will be at your home. This will be in your home, because you will buy something like that. That's how you saw that. If you go and check your home, each and every object you have bought so far, you saw somewhere and you thought that, oh, that person enjoys this, therefore I also can enjoy with this. That's how you thought, and you bought all these things. You have spent more than perhaps few millions, ladies and gentlemen, just to enjoy. Here, if I talk about myself, now myself, actually I'm not talking about myself. This is someone who has achieved some spiritual achievements, I would say. Just imagine that I have this robe. So normally we wear 3 robes. Normally we wear 2 robes, but we have another one for rainy season. Then we keep it. We don't wear it. We have one set. For like 3 years, 4 years is enough. One set is enough for that. And we have that alms bowl. That's the only plate we use. And we begged. We beg. We come to you. But you worship and offer. You respect and offer. That's a separate kind of begging. In Sri Lanka, we go to beggars as well. Wherever, not only Sri Lanka, wherever we go for the alms round, and we go to the people. Sometimes we find beggars. Beggars offer alms to us. We let them earn some merits, because we can eat what they give us, what they offer. They also got things from someone, and they offer to us, and they smile. And we, as you said, we need merits to earn this, to achieve our salvation. They don't have merits just to have a home. They are homeless. They are homeless and they don't have enough food. Then how will they achieve their salvation? That's why we go to them as well. Because we can eat whatever edible, whatever you offer to us. We don't choose. And when we eat, we never find, oh, this is good. We don't eat like that. We start from some side and we eat it. That's it. But we enjoy. Because we can enjoy each and every part of any food. These are the achievements. But before I became a monk, I wanted to achieve this world. That wasn't enough. Can you imagine that? I used to be in UK. I wanted to settle there. We settled there. And I started businesses. And I did aeronautical engineering degree. But that wasn't enough for me. Therefore, I went to business sector. I wanted to earn a lot of money. I wanted to find a solution for noise pollution. I had a dream. But finally, I found this. Because I did all these things to make myself happy. I thought that happiness exists. Therefore, I wanted to find it. Somehow I wanted to find it. Therefore, I followed. But I didn't do any wrong things because my parents and teachers guided me really well. I respect them a lot. And my elders, whoever, they guided me and protected me. Therefore, I didn't do any wrong things. But I wanted to find this happiness. Then it happened to, something happened to me. Somehow I found the Dhamma. I found the Dhamma, and when I found the Dhamma from great gurus, then after that I read the Bible, the Holy Quran, actually not Holy Quran, and Bhagavad Gita, and I read them more than once. I can remember more than 100 slokas in Bhagavad Gita. I really enjoy that. I really enjoy that because each sloka I see the Buddha saying. I don't know what other people can perceive, but from the Bible, the Sermon on the Mount, I can see all the things what the Buddha said. Then I really enjoyed it. Then I start practicing this. I was like you. I am not abnormal. I am fully normal like you. I didn't have any supernatural powers. I didn't do any miracles in my life. This is the only miracle. I can eat to the fullest. Can you? I can sleep to the fullest. I can talk to the fullest. I can see to the fullest. That's the miracle that happened to me. That's very normal. Everyone can achieve it. You need to practice. And finally, I will tell you about death. All are afraid of death because people don't know about death. You believe in future, Nisanjan. Believe in the future. That's why you are afraid of death. Let me explain to you. Death means in your body, the process of the mind occurs. The mind rises and passes away. That means when causes are there, the mind exists. When causes are not there, it doesn't exist. Because it's a process. That process occurs because of the causes. When causes are not there, the process ceases. Let's say that it rises and passes away. Right. Now, it rises and passes away. One process is done in the body. Because of that, your body moves, and you can walk, and you can talk, and all these things because of the mind. Then after this process, another process occurs. Another process occurs. Okay. Finally, now it comes to the last mind. The last mind of the body. It rises and passes away. After that, the mind doesn't rise in this body. It will rise somewhere by creating another body. Like this. But the chain is the same. I drew it separately because it's a separate body. That's why. Otherwise, the mental chain is the same.
So is it like the Atma? Like the
It's no, it's not Atma. Okay, the mind, just the mind, one mind. It's one perception. Whatever you perceive, the perception. Another perception, another perception. Now this is the last perception in this body. After that, then another mind is created, but in this body, this is the body. Okay, in this body, this is the last mind. It rises and passes away.
Last chitta.
Last chitta. Then, again, the next mind rises and passes away in another body. It continues. If this is the last one, when this mind rises, do you think that mind is going to die? The mind knows that person is going to die? No. Because you perceive something in this time. During this time, you perceive something. Then it passes away. During that, perhaps you saw a flower. Then the mind is created somewhere else. Then how do you know that you are going to die? Actually, death occurs here. Because in that body, the process of the mind doesn't continue.
How is the last chitta in the old body related to the new chitta in the new body?
No, that is the next chitta.
And next is fine,
Huh?
but do they have any kind of a karma link and things like that?
Yeah. I'm not talking about that thing. In the future, we will discuss about that.
The mind is like the wind in the sky with no foundation. So therefore, that needs to be understood. Then probably we'll be able to appreciate this. This is a fantastic example though.
Yeah, look at that. Now, this is the final perception in your body. You see a flower. After that chitta passes away, and again another chitta is created, but in another body. Other people see that this person died or has died. You can't experience. No one can experience death, ladies and gentlemen. But everyone is afraid of death because of the ego.
So when they say the soul passes, do they mean the mind?
No, actually that's not the soul. Nothing is passes from here to here. In the future, we will learn. Actually, it has a small confusion, and the soul and the mind thing. We will discuss about it later.
Gurudhara, where is the body here? Like, what is the function of the body? Like the systems in the body fail at that point in time. That is related to the chittas, and the chitta rises with whatever thought, and then passes away, and then the physical process of the body ceases, and then they go, they are all related to each other when that particular thing passes away. How do you relate this passing away of the mind to the passing away of the body?
No, the thing is, your heart works. Let's assume that your heart works because of the process of the mind. If the mind is not there, now your heart doesn't work and you will die. Let's assume that, because otherwise we have to talk about the body and we need to find about those subtle things, right? However, you know that if the mind is not working in your mind, in your body, you are a dead man. That's it.
Like comatose.
Yes. It's like vegetable. And that's it. Then, now, actually, you perceive a human being here. But actually what happens here is,
There is no human.
actually what happens is, the body exists. And with the help of the body, I can't just say that the mind, the process of the mind happens inside the body. I don't know where it happens. Here, here. But I know that it's not in someone's arm, because arms can be amputated.
Outside.
So we can't just say that it happened outside or inside. Let's not talk about that, because they are too deep things to discuss. Just take lightly everything, because the truth is very simple. The truth is very simple, that the power I told you in the mind, we have some power in the mind, analyzing power. That analyzing power creates complicity. Otherwise, the truth is very simple. The truth is very simple. Let's come back to this again, and we can conclude this. Is the time? Yeah. Now, you perceive something here. You perceive something here. Perceive something here. Perceive something here. Then that perception can't happen anymore in this body. Then perceive something here. Perceive something here. Perceive something here. Then how do you know you are going to die? Others can see, because your body falls, because the mind is not working anymore, the process stops there. But it continues in another body.
Is it instant like
Yes, instant. That's the thing. Because we have watched movies. In those movies, oh, please grab me. I'm so afraid of death. Please, please. You see all these things in movies. Therefore, you think that it takes so long to die. No. Within a second, you can die 1,000,000 times.
Sorry?
Within a second, you can die 1,000,000 times. You can't die 1,000,000 times, but the rate of death within a second, because it's just a mind. When a mind passes away and another mind is not rising, that's
Once
death.
it is, again I come back to the example, if it is a pleasurable thing, it can appear in seconds, but if it is a non-pleasurable thing because of karmas or whatever, it can happen after eons. So,
How does the transmission take place?
Actually, this is an event. Yeah, this is an event. This event occurs individually. Therefore, in America, a flower falls from the tree while this is happening. How does that happen? Because we are in New Zealand. That happens in Australia, in America.
Are you talking about the butterfly effect? That if something happens in one part of the world will affect another, even in time and dimension?
No. Actually, what I'm talking about is that is individual event. That is an individual event. This is an individual event. When this happens, during this event, how many events in the world that can happen? Innumerable events happens in the world. Infinity. This is also an individual event, but it has a connection because of karma and vipaka. There are two terms, karma and vipaka. In order to create a mind, in order to be created a mind, we need some sort of energy that's called vipaka, which means karma. When we do karma, something comes back. That's called vipaka in Buddhist terms. Results. That vipaka is used to create this. Because of that vipaka, this has a connection. Otherwise, this is an individual event. This is an individual event. This is an individual event. Finally, this occurred. After that, another chitta is created. Perhaps that creates in America. That creates in heaven. It creates in hell. This chitta. But this is the next chitta.
But if you attain
Nibbana.
status,
Yes, of course.
that is the end of
That is the
chitta.
end of chitta.
No connection.
Yeah, because when you actually, this is now it goes to little bit deeper. Don't be confused. This is so simple. These things are facts.
Yeah.
These things are facts. I just want you to know the simple truth and contemplate. And mainly, what I want is please come and join. That's it. That's it. Because you need to get a little bit more. Because we had only 2 hours. During 2 hours, how can I explain my life, my teacher's life, my teacher's life?
Technology has made it simpler.
If, of
because,
course.
there is not a single day I miss your sermon. And Tireth everything, Jetavana Monastery, and all 3 channels, including the Hindi channel. So
Please listen,
it
because
may not be the best thing. The best thing will be coming to the monastery, but it is probably the next best thing.
yes, please listen to our sermons, and actually because of this, we learn languages because we really
Your
want
Hindi
to
is very
help people. Thank
Hindi
you,
is very good.
thank you.
We just have to join the.
Yes, please do that, and you are welcome to the monastery at any time. And come and join with us, and just enjoy. That's it.
After Hindi,
It's in Sri Lanka. Yeah. In the future, we will do something here and everywhere in the future, but I can't allow our monks to come here and stay because they came to me to attain Nibbana. Therefore, I forced them. You have to do your own job first because you have to be the message before you send the message. Otherwise, you will talk about something that you can't practice. I can talk something that I can practice. Therefore, from my life, you will see the truth.
we are good. And one question in Hindi, आपने इतनी अच्छी हिंदी कहाँ से सीखी?
Compassion से मैंने करुणा से सीखा. I study 6 languages. I can speak 4 languages. It's so hard, ladies and gentlemen. Learning a language is so hard. You all know that. I don't earn even not I, everyone. In our monastery, we speak 25 languages so far. Just for the compassion. Out of compassion, we allocate some time. We study the Dhamma.
No, you can finish, sorry.
We study the Dhamma and we study languages. It's so hard. It's so hard. I recently started Japanese and then Chinese within 1, 2 or 3 years. I'm going to preach. Right now I can speak Sinhalese, English, Hindi and Telugu. I study those things because I really want to help. I really want to help, as well as our monks. They want to help. We have many kids in our monastery, because we have an international school, and we teach them like Nalanda Takshashila in India, and we are going to build that kind of thing, and because children need spiritual values as well. while they learn all these things. Therefore, we teach them. We teach science, and we are going to start a university there within 3 years. We have planned everything because our children need to go to their PhD. After that, they have a qualification to reach the world and preach the Dhamma, just the humanity. Actually, to achieve this, you need a guru. Guru means actually you need a helper. You can consider me as a doctor, but to cure your wound, cure your illness, you need a nurse better than a doctor, more than a doctor. Then if you stay with people who practice the path, then always you see them and you will be encouraged by seeing them. When they practice, then you will be encouraged and you will have courage to do this. You will do somehow. But when you are in the society, you won't find anyone who practices these things. Because they will try to enjoy their life. They spend money and time and enjoy their life. Therefore, it is a little bit difficult. That's why I always suggest, if you can have some, that's called Kalyana Mitra. Kalyana Mitra means noble friends who have understood the Dhamma. Then you can always ask when you practice, if you follow a wrong path, they can correct you and put you onto the path. You have all the facilities when you are there. But until that, you are alone, but you need to practice. Therefore, you can force yourself to practice and listen to sermons. That will be another Kalyana Mitra, a noble friend, that sermons, and listen to the sermons, and you can continue it. But when you have a chance, come and visit, because if you can get that experience, then you will see how to proceed. But we don't force you to come or anything. You just, when you have time, come. Until that, listen to sermons and just follow that. And the other thing is, if you have someone who wants mental serenity, and when we are here, we can help. This is not a religion. We try to help humanity, human beings, to achieve their salvation. That's why we learn languages, and actually we don't charge even a penny. Even for food, you just need to give us some food. Spare food is enough for us, because we don't measure them whether it's spare or the greatest part of the food. Because we don't enjoy all those things. We only enjoy our life to the fullest with everything. Therefore, you can arrange, when we are here or somewhere, perhaps in India, you can arrange some people. We will travel and we will help them. But they should be very intelligent, and they want to be, they want to achieve, at least they want to achieve their salvation. Otherwise, our time, which means our life, will be wasted. We will help everyone.
I just requested, after you finish 5 minutes with you later on, my request still stands, so you get to that.
Yeah, for everyone. First of all, you experience this. When you experience this, then your experience will express your serenity, and your life will be the message. And when you are happy, other people will question about it, inquire about it. How do you achieve your happiness?
And your recommendation is at least a month?
Sorry?
Your recommendation is at least a month?
At least a month? Yeah, at least a month.
But, for example, if you have 10 days, 2 weeks, do you think it's enough, or do you think that this will be at least a month? Even of the person. Okay.
Yeah. More the better. Because you live with the Guru. That means no other noble friends. Then they will guide you. Then you can practice, and you will experience that monastic life. That is wonderful. That is wonderful, because it doesn't involve with all the or the sensual pleasures, and it has some spiritual nature there. From time to time, you should achieve that. You should perceive that, and you should absorb that, and it will happen eventually. But the first thing is, let's understand this. Listen to the sermons, and you know that this is the truth. This is the truth, and this is very scientific. And again, I'm not saying that this is Buddhism. I can't say that this is Buddhism. Therefore, what I can say is this is nature. Therefore, whoever the religious leader, the spiritual master came to the world to express something about nature, he must have told about this.
Theru, we can never ever have enough of you. Never ever, ever. That is one. And I have a small complaint that I'm jealous of my single age brothers and sisters because they have got 3 days and we have got one.
No, in the future, we will do more. We will do more, because we need some people. At least one, doesn't matter. It is 1, 2, 3. We can't find. We know that if this is a musical show, how many? Because they want to achieve their happiness. That's why they go to a musical show and try to be happy. But here, we are going to enjoy our life right now. But they don't know about that. They don't know that there is another method. But there is a method. I don't go for any parties. I don't go to any parties because I don't have to. I don't enjoy my life with those things. But I used to do that. Right now I don't want. I don't want, therefore I don't go. I don't want money. Therefore I don't earn. Just after my ordain, you never imagine this. I haven't touched even a penny. Because of our devotees, they looked after us. Therefore, I didn't have to do anything with money, because whenever we need, we go for alms round and we get something. That's enough for us.
I'm quite happy with the other Guru Bhais because the kind of effort, sleepless nights, and the kind of effort they have undertaken to make sure of these visits. Even they get 10 times of their sermons, I'm still happy for them.
That's much.
Because,
No, actually, from them, from their effort, you will see real compassion. Did they expect anything from you? Did they ask even a penny from you? We don't even touch. Therefore, we don't want. Perhaps our monastery needs some money. I don't ask any money from you. We have enough. Don't worry about that. Need money to make buildings and feed people. That's totally different. That monastery of trust needs some money. We don't need anything. We just need to live. Therefore, the basic requisites are enough for us. Therefore, we just expect only 4 basic requisites. That's not from you. Actually, we can just go and ask around. If someone gives, we eat. Otherwise, we will stay hungry. We don't expect anything because we know that expectation kills us. We have understood that. Therefore, we live without any expectation. Actually, you never believe that. Just after this, I will go somewhere. They ask me to go, and I'll do another sermon. That's it. Then I don't have any future. I have a plan. I know what to do, but future, I don't consider about future. It doesn't bother me.
You are getting because you are giving enough.
Of course. Then I want you to do the same. Give more. Dhamma. Just the truth. Pass the message to everyone. Don't talk about the religion. Just pass the message, because this is nature. I just use some Buddhist terms. That's why I mentioned the Buddha's name. The Buddha is wisdom, ladies and gentlemen. Buddha is not a person. The Buddha is within you. That's why I'm going to wake your Buddha up. Then you will become the Buddha, and you can be the message to the world.